I got off the bus early because my plan B backup is to re-explore some of what I saw yesterday and fill in what I didn't get to do. But I saw this church and I thought this was a good place to stop and start. An irony in this sculpture, a halo around the head with a big axe in his hand. It's more of that almost watercolor painting style. And one of the few small parks that I've seen, although they have some large ones, we'll go to one today, I believe. Incidentally, it's Sunday the 13th, 2017. Cute little bit of detail on this 1914 old fountain base. Modern design glass-faced building takes advantage of the surrounding colorful older buildings. This was installed in 1706 in honor of the withdrawal of Bavarian troops 3 years earlier on St. Anne's Day, therefore the name. I'm going to be going down the street. I'll pan back up to where we entered here yesterday, and we're going to be going beyond that old section that we were in. There on the right in the distance is the old town tower. We may be able to climb up to that today. Let's go see. So yesterday a guy dressed up with a gray face or silver face. Just a quick shot to show the sun. Now we're going to climb up to the top of the Stadtturm, or the town hall. It's 3 rectangular chunks on top of each other. This may be an old clock mechanism. We'll go up these stairs through that old doorway, and there's another stairway. Remember, this was a town hall, so it had some perhaps offices and so forth in it. It's too cool. It reminds me, I think, of a Michelangelo stairway somewhere in Italy that I visited. It's famous for the same reason. This is cleverly done. Like your DNA. So those going up don't have to encounter those going down. First time I've seen this very clever thing. The Swiss should have had something like this. Here's one of the old windows. I believe the second floor had bars on the windows because it was once used as a prison. What these different outcrop surfaces are. This looks like it would be support for a floor. This controls the clock, perhaps. A new mechanism, of course. Still another floor. Not at the top, but we can't see further up through this dark glass. Built as a viewing balcony for the court. I wonder if that's a residence. I haven't been to that nearby church yet, so I better do that. It's often the case, interesting architecture is sometimes at the very top. Here, one of those gargoyle things I was trying to get a closer look at earlier. Looking up to the ski area. And Fulmus, where I was earlier, we have in one of those valleys. The houses I videoed the other day, I hadn't been to that side of the river, so I may go there later today if I have time. And up to that church. Interesting, this door is a series of overlapping iron plates. So there are the bars over once was a prison. Whether this was a cell or simply provided air to this area, who knows? This word Wappen is interesting because I think in The Man Who Laughed by Victor Hugo, a Wappen was a very important dignitary of the court who would go and get people for the court and had mind-boggling power. He merely came with his staff and tapped it towards you or on you, and you came with him. He said nothing. I wonder what that statue lineage is. And look at the size of that door. Where are all the doors here? The sign says 1494. Notice those pot-like features at the top. Apparently not a reservoir, but a gathering point for the water that tumbles off the top of the ground. Like at home to figure out what this thing said. It looks like there's at least two faces up there that mechanism controls. You can see that just like in Palermo, I believe it was, these large arched entryways for what in this area in its day were the estate homes of the powerful people. Discovered the cathedral, you think? And a pretty little park opposite it. When the jets take off over here, they're a little bit higher than they are when they're coming in. But because they start to arch off to the right when they're going from right to our right to left, that noise from the jets just resonates and slams through these narrow streets. Actually, this is just a pleasant way to hide the scaffolding for some restoration work that's going on. Domplatz is where this church is, of course, and where that pretty square is. I wonder if these bars were installed when it was a university or a school, which of course begs the question, was it to keep people out or to keep students in? On the side of the Domplatz you can see extensive renovation going on. Now I'm north of Domplatz, having walked through that archway that was put in the 1600 and something for the university access, and I'm now in search of a couple of parks that are alongside this river. One is very small, and that may be it, but it may be too small. And another is quite large. This is a curious chunk of park art sculpture. I have no clue what it could be. Here we're obviously at the side of Domplatz, but the lower part that's under restoration blocked by these buildings. Not quite sure which side of this sculpture it's supposed to be looked at. Maybe both.